Good evening and thank you for joining us on Joy News. This is the Sports. I'm Gary Al Smith. And earlier today, a group called the Ghana Football Stakeholders Forum presented a petition to the Chief Accountant of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Dr. Osman Haruna, in the absence of the Sector Minister, Mustafa Yusuf. They said they had demonstrated or protested what they believe to be the manipulations in Ghana football. And in particular, they looked to ask the sports ministry to use their influence to stop the GFA elections scheduled to be held tomorrow.
Conveners, among other things, have a lot of placards. This one says the GFA has now been turned into a scouting agency, Proton Sports. Proton Sports is an agency that belongs to the GFA president, Keto Kraku, and it's believed that this agency, he has been accused of using this agency to get players on the agency into all the national teams at the male and female level, under 17, under 20, under 23, and the Black Stars, and same for the women's team as well. We see, do you remember Amoagogo, his match fixing agent as well? Now there was a huge match fixing scandal involving Ash Gold, the club called Ash Gold and Inter Allies, and it's believed that the GFA were part of it as well. Time to speak now, you can be the next victim of Keto Kreku. So basically, this demonstration is also accusing the incumbent GFA president, Kurt Simon, Edwin Okweku, of being a dictator, of not listening to people or dissenting opinions, and they are also referencing his infamous Joy FM interview that he had with me, where he said that, nobody works with their enemies. He said to me, April 2 years ago, that nobody works with their enemies. So I count about 100 to 120, 130 people here, and they'll be taken through the principal streets of this area, Ringway, and surrounding areas to the sports ministry for what they call the Rescue the GFA demonstration as well.
Obviously, we are seeking justice, and we strongly believe that football has come to the wilderness. Things are not in order. Everything is in the state of desperados. So we strongly believe that demonstration is an avenue for you to register your displeasure. Once you are not going over, you don't have to take to the streets and be on aggression or act unlawfully. You just demonstrate for the authorities to see, so that they can rectify what is not well, so that there will be an order.
Yeah, this has become necessary because a whole lot is going on in our football, and I think that it is the best time to tell the world what is happening. Most of the times we serve most of the things within our circles, and Keto Kreku has taken advantage of that situation. That's more reason why this time around we have come out to demonstrate to the people of Ghana and the world to know what is actually happening in our football.
Okay.
My official name is Nicholas Omanie Champon.
Nicholas Omanie Champon. There is a name that they used to call you.
Zafanat Pania.
Zafanat Pania.
I have many names anyway.
He has a man with many names. But Sanka, where is Sanka? Gospel. This is not gospel. Why are you here?
Haven't you heard that Ghana is Christian country? Ghana is gospel nation. Haven't you heard of that?
We have heard.
Good. You see, the way and manner football especially is being run in this country, it's not good. Things are not going on well at all. Because look at the elections that is coming on, that is scheduled to be coming on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Agitations are so much. Troubles, problems, complaints, and what have you. You understand?
Ghana, say yeah. Ghana, say yeah. Ghana football, apart from government, nobody are making. But for 24 million. Ghana football, Timakuma, and that's so. Young Tramon share Madian say, no Chinanko, Yakaya, Yakase, Nyanka, where you know about Doro, and depend as you see by. Yet, ye bought awareness, sir, or man, sorry.
Omampani na swafo parliament. Speaker of Parliament, on sorry, clergy, judicially, I am for young assassin, of course, no, a bit buana semwa. You're born for now about to go to the channel, a bino stop. Name him, near him, Nekas okay, would be ma, no problem. And if Fanuna or Mobunyono on Bobajo. Nemo say, young way, ama a man and who near Coswell. Nassim Sia, Cofbonisi Crowbar. Tell you, Mamma. Most stop watching our program no.
Injunctions and Cobes at 10. That's 10 a day.
Casapa, yeah, Modiabatu and Mazia. And you think I know we received this petition on behalf of the minister and on behalf of the government.
Yes.
So it will certainly reach every appropriate courtesies for actions to be taken.
God bless you.
And that's how we bring you into our coverage of the GFA elections scheduled for tomorrow. So the protests have happened on the eve of the GFA elections scheduled for Tamale. Joy Sports Muftau Nabila joins me on phone to give us some perspective, via Zoom, to give us some perspective to today's demonstration and whether it can affect tomorrow's election in any way. Muftau, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Gary.
The big question, does today's demonstration do anything to tomorrow's polls in Tamale?
From where I sit, I don't think that the demonstrations will have any impact on the elections that will be happening in Tamale on Thursday. The petition says the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the government at large should at least stop the GFA elections. That was going to happen on Thursday. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening. What I've seen is that Kim Faisal has gone ahead to serve the president of the Ghana Football Association and his entire executive council members with a writ of summons that they are injuncting the GFA elections. They already have one pending issue that is expected to be to bring them back to court on October 12th. But now they've gone ahead to serve the GFA president and his executive council separately. So all these efforts that have been made to ensure that the elections does not happen. But one of the things, Gary, I know you would come there, but one of the things is the fact that if the GFA election does not happen before October 25, a vacuum will be created at the Ghana Football Association where we will not have leaders in charge of the governance of football in this country. So, and if that also happens, what it will mean is that Keto Kreku and his executive council cannot hold themselves as leaders of Ghana football because their tenure would have expired. So if you were the advisors of Keto Kreku, what would you say? Go ahead with the process, come back. If we are cited for contempt of court, then we can go and deal with the matter in court. But let's not risk the situation where by October 25, the Ghana Football Association leadership would become vacant.
Is that what they call a lacuna will be created?
Lacuna is more of a legal term where they will tell you that, okay, the law creates a certain leeway for people to be able to maneuver their way out when it comes to certain issues. So I don't think it's a lacuna within the issues, but I think maybe we can use the lacuna when people say that maybe the GFA is trying to find a way of organizing the elections so that they will come back and deal with the matter.
Nice one. Muftau, finally. I mean, a lot of people did not even know there were going to be elections tomorrow, but would you say that today's protest has actually shed light and elevated the profile and the stakes in tomorrow's election? Because, I mean, now people know that, oh, all right, so something was happening.
Yeah, actually, I think that The protests actually drew the attention of many people to the fact that the Ghana Football Association is going to Tamale to organize its elections. Because, like you mentioned, many of us had actually forgotten that there was going to be an election because it is more of a procession. It was supposed to be a contest, and in the end, it is more of people just going there to occupy the positions they were already in, especially the topmost position when it comes to Ghana football. That is the presidency. And it was actually going to be the highlight of the elections on Thursday. But if the members of the Ghana football family are going to Tamale just to endorse their leader to continue, I'm sure it is one of the reasons why many people don't actually know that there's an election happening. But one of the things I've heard is the fact that some members of the FA have actually said they will not go and vote. If you're not going to vote, it means that your right to determine who leads Ghana football, and you've taken it away from yourself because the GFA has not asked you not to come and vote. But if you decide that you're not going to vote simply because you think you are fighting the system, it is actually right. I think that the protest, in as much as many of us and many of us would think that it shouldn't have happened, because never in the history of Ghana football that we've had people go on the streets and protest against leadership. And the funny thing actually was the fact that it was more of the person in charge of football and not the system, because most of the placards that we picked live on Joy News earlier today, and also when we brought a playback of the event on Sports Today at 2 p.m. on this very channel, the placards were directed at the president of the Ghana Football Association. And I've always said that the governance of football goes beyond the leader. The institution becomes what it is if the people surrounding the leader are able to step on his toe and tell him, we disagree with this, we shall go on this trajectory. But if people are quiet and the system is not going the way that the general public thinks it should go, but the people within the football family feel that they should go on that direction, I don't think we would have to come out and protest and put the president of the association on the chopping block, in as much as the buck stops at him when decisions in Ghana football are taken. It is a larger group that takes the decisions about Ghana football for the larger interest of Ghanaians. And I think that the protests could have opened up. They could have opened up their protest and maybe include executive council members, because it's not the GFA president alone who takes decisions. It's not an executive position. It is a position that requires the executive council members to always make input. So they could have broadened up their protests and reach out to all the core people when it comes to the decision-making process of Ghana football.
Nice one, Muftau. And still on that tangent, as Muftau said, let's show you who is what. Muftau, thank you very much for your time. But Muftau has inadvertently previewed tomorrow's election for us in terms of the positions at stake. Remember, tomorrow, Kurt Okreku is expected to be elected unopposed as the GFA president for the next 4 years. However, all the juice is here. The GFA Exco is where it's going to be interesting. 3 people wants the position, or 5 people want the position, 3 will get it. There's Gideon Ofosu, Samuel Enimado, aka known popularly as Asamoah Gyan's manager, Mark Addo, the incumbent vice president, Eugene Noel, and Alexander Abebio all want to be Exco as well. The Exco elections balloting for the 5 Premier League clubs' Exco positions. So these 10 are vying for 5 positions that will enable them represent the Ghana Premier League clubs. Simple. There's Frederick Achampon, Raphael Jamra, there's Edmond Aka, there's Tony Obin, number 4, Kingsley Osebunsu, number 5, number 6 is Nana Oduro Safo, aka Sebosro, 7 is Ransford Anete Abe, that is the government name of Randy Abe, so that is his real name. And 8 is James Kwesi Appiah, former Black Stars coach. 9 is Onyena Asenso, and 10 is former Joy FM sports editor Eloine Amande, who is these days a lawyer and also CEO of Karela United. All right, so we'll be giving you extensive coverage of that tomorrow. Our team is in Tamale as we speak. They are settling, and on all the multimedia platforms, they will be covering that as well. And tomorrow, please look out for this, what do you call it, the sick tune as the montage for our coverage of the GFA elections. Moving on, and Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton has called up 23 players for this month's international friendly matches against Mexico and the United States of America that will be played in the US. The headline is that Brighton and Hove Albion right back Tariq Lamptey makes a return to the squad after being out injured during the last international break. Remember, he'd been out for 10 months. The player made his injury return just before the September break and has seen minutes for Roberto De Zerbi's side since. Hughton also hands a call to Thomas Partey, who also missed the last international break due to injury, and he missed games for Arsenal against Central African, for the Black Stars against Central African Republic and Liberia. And he only returned to training for Arsenal this week and is expected to feature for the club against Man City this weekend. Andre Ayew is not there. He's been dropped. Baba Idrisu and Abdul Babaraman, who all made the last team, have been dropped from their latest team. Ghana take on Mexico at the Bank of America Stadium on the 14th. That will be in the city of Charlotte, before taking on the United States of America on the 18th. That's Ghana 18th. And but if you're in the US, it will be on the 17th in Nashville, Tennessee. Hughton is expected to use the two friendlies as part of the build-up to the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers in November and the Africa Cup of Nations in La Côte d'Ivoire. So these are the squad players. Atletico Madrid 3-2 Feyenoord. Celtic 1-2 Lazio have won that one. In Group F, Dortmund 0-0 Milan. Newcastle 4-1 PSG. There's a few minutes to go on that one. Sensational result. In Group G, Red Star Belgrade 2-2 Young Boys, and I'm told that the Ghanaian has given an assist in that one. Osman, RB Leipzig 1, Man City 3. That's a result. Real Antwerp 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 3, FC Porto 0, Barcelona 1. That's it for the sport. I'm Gary Smith. Thank you very much. Like I said, tomorrow there's the GFA elections. We are on the ground in Tamale. Please look out for our coverage across platforms. Thank you for your time. Stay with Joy News.